Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And this is earnings week this week. And I wanted to start it off with AT&T. I will leave a link to this article in the description down below so you guys could check it out in its entirety. Now, there's some other stuff that I also want to discuss in the members only content section. So if you guys would like to join that, the link to that will be in the description down below. So you guys can check out that content as well. So AT&T profit probably fell in Q4, even as high dividend pushed shares higher. Subscriber growth probably fell, but it's outpacing Verizon. So the outpacing Verizon part at this juncture, it's not hard to do, right? Verizon is not necessarily seeking growth. Yes, they're trying to compete. Yes, they're putting out promotional deals, but they're not trying to grow because, like Hans said in his recent commentary, they don't want just any subscriber. So they're not chasing that. So that's not hard to do. So looking at AT&T overall in Q4 during the holiday season, during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, they weren't too aggressive necessarily. They kind of backed off of the $1,000 off promo. But they did bring it back, I think, at the right time. And I think throughout the rest of the quarter, they did kind of maintain their momentum. So my guess, when they report this week, I think they do between 500,000 to 600,000 ads for the quarter, which is relatively low to what we've seen. We've seen them do like the 700,000 to 800,000. So 500,000 to 600,000, nothing to sneeze at. And of course, that's going to far outpace anything that Verizon posts. But I think there's more for AT&T to do, right? And I think there could have been more growth for the quarter. And we'll discuss some stuff that I've heard in the members only exclusive content. But moving forward for AT&T, I think they could do more tweaking. They can be a bit more aggressive to remain at the growth that they want to be at. Now, that's not to say that they need huge changes. I think what they're doing is working. They don't have a huge portfolio of perks on their plans, and they're still growing, right? They don't have, the Disney Plus bundle or Apple Music or this and that on us. They don't have that, right? They're barely wanting to bring HBO Max back, and that seems to be, don't know if that happened yet. They haven't announced it, but that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to include that on the elite plan, but it seems regardless of what's happening in the market, AT&T continues to grow, right? T-Mobile and Verizon if we're talking value, beat them on that all day long. I mean, all day long. And now that these fiber prices are going up for AT&T, that 25% discount doesn't look as good as it used to when you bundled wireless with wireline. So very interesting times. And T-Mobile said that this would unfold this way once Sprint is integrated into the T-Mobile billing. Once they have that churn under control, they said that the market would start shifting to T-Mobile being the growth leader again. And that's exactly what's happening. Now, that's not saying that AT&T is experiencing anything crazy or that they're going to, have high churn, but they may not grow as much as they were growing these past few quarters. That may slow just a tad bit. But I do think AT&T has an opportunity to blow it out of the water if they're so willing to do so, right? They have to compete, for one, right? And I think it starts with fiber. I don't think the price increase was necessary. I think they could have kept pricing the same, and I think that would have helped wireless grow a bit more. But now people are going to start, second guessing their choices because of where the economy is going, where prices are. So I think, and I said this in a previous video, but I think AT&T needs to include a tier on fiber that can compete pricing wise with fixed wireless access. 100 by 100 or 150 by 150. That uplink speed fixed wireless access can't touch. Drop it down to $30, $35 and leave it there. But again, I just speak from a competitive spirit. You know, everyone's competing now. We got MVNOs competing, prepaid. We got T-Mobile being very competitive against the MNOs, expanding its network. So, you know, the competition is there. So you can't, if you're AT&T and even Verizon, you just can't shy away from it. You're just going to lose your base. You're going to shrink. You're not going to grow effectively. And, you know, like you see here, profits probably fell. You know, as AT&T gets lower in growth, their profits are going to fall. They're spending a lot. They have a huge wireline business that they're continuously expanding. They just announced a $15 billion venture that they're going to get into. So they're continuously expanding that footprint and will do so in the future until they reach the 30 million homes served by 2025. So that's a heavy burden on the books to spend that CapEx. And even as they drop, they can't drop down to 17 billion like Verizon. They're a much bigger wireline business. Verizon is mainly based on the East Coast. AT&T runs a far larger wireline business for consumer and business. So they have to stay at the least at the $20 billion mark. They have to stay higher. They have to have a more elevated CapEx because they spend way more, or they have to spend way more to maintain and upkeep that larger wireline footprint that they're wanting to expand outside of the 21 states that they're in. So you got to keep all of that in mind as we go through this week. As both Verizon and AT&T report, excellent article here, which I'll leave in the description down below, so you guys may check it out. Let me know your thoughts on AT&T as their earnings call comes up. I think they have a big opportunity. I do think they're a bit shy when it comes to competing. They don't want to acknowledge that T-Mobile is competing, taking customers, but they need to acknowledge and they need to fight back, in my opinion. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel for more. Like, share, subscribe, follow the members-only exclusive content. Link to it will be in the description. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.